interesting prospect. Obviously, Honda currently supply the engines for Red Bull, but that's going to stop in a couple of years' time because obviously Honda were going to leave F1, and so Red Bull decided to set up their own engine manufacturing division, and they've also now partnered with Ford Motorsport. So things have kind of tied up now with Red Bull, but Honda are now considering staying in F1. They've signed a new engine deal. So it looks as though there's going to be Honda still going to be in the paddock in some way, and a lot of people are considering, or at least Autosport are considering that they may well go to Aston Martin. Aston Martin are currently using Mercedes engines. In fact, they're using a lot of Mercedes parts in their car at the moment, including gearboxes. But it is possible that they could decide to go with the Honda engine in a couple of years' time. Now that could be really interesting, I think, because Mercedes are obviously trying to get back into the fray. They're trying to get back to the beginning, get back to the front of the grid. We know that Red Bull have been doing really well with their Honda engines. They've been really powerful. Things might go backwards slightly for Red Bull when they get taken, when they start using the Ford powertrains and their own powertrain division. Things might start take a slow step backwards while they get back into the sport, and they're building their engines and getting ready for F1, and running them and testing them and stuff like that. So it might not be an easy start for Red Bull when they eventually give up the Honda engines. However, Aston Martin could theoretically come in with a very powerful Honda engine, and that could mean that Aston Martin might even do better than Red Bull come that new season. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but it's going to be interesting to see how Red Bull deal with this and how Aston Martin deal with it, because obviously a lot of teams now have their own engines and their own engine suppliers, so they don't need to go elsewhere, whereas Honda don't have their own works team, so they're going to need to sell their engines on. So I think it could be Audi, and I think it could be Aston Martin, and if it is, then this could make for a tantalizing season when it eventually happens. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think that Honda would be a good fit for Aston Martin, and do you think that would mean Aston Martin could be pushing their way to the front of the podium? Let me know what you think.